Hey, what's up everyone? In this video we'll look into 9 different nades that Gla1ve, the in-game leader of Astralis, uses during the T side of their matches on Inferno. For each of the nades I'll first show you the scenario in which they were used and what effect they had on the situation. Afterwards I'll show you how to do these nades yourself so that you can easily learn the lineups and add this knowledge to your own gameplay. And don't worry, if you want to rewatch any of the nades or their lineups, you can find the timestamps in both the description and the comment section of this video. Alright, to start off, we'll have a look at a few nades that he uses during their T side to take banana control. In most of the rounds, the first or second player that enters banana will throw a molotov to protect for quick CT aggression at car. Once this angle is secured, they want to safely take more control by flushing out anyone holding top banana from an off angle or behind sandbags. Gla1ve shows us one flash lineup that can be used to achieve this. This flashbang is thrown all the way from bottom banana and will pop right after it flies over the wall. This will flash most of the angles that can be held by CT players, and as you can see in this clip, it allows wall.Line-up to get an easy tag onto Stewie, who had to fall back while flashed. For the lineup, come over to this pipe, then crouch down and aim at the first concrete support for the balcony. Try to put your crosshair as much to the right side as possible, just next to the wall to get the most efficient pop flash. Then release with a left click throw while remaining crouched, and the flash will perfectly flash just behind the wall. This way it won't blind your teammates in banana, and it will still have the perfect position to pop for almost all the possible angles that CT defenders can be holding from. Now that we have taken control of top banana, there are many different things that can be done. In this particular round, Gla1ve shows us a very interesting nade that can be used to soften up the defense on B. He uses a high explosive nade that lands on the most common CT angle. It is thrown from standing on top of the wall in banana, which allows him to throw the nade safely without having to expose himself in a direct line of sight. It lands perfectly at the back wall with the explosion around the head height, which would give a good chunk of damage to anyone holding this angle. In this round of Astralis against Team Liquid, Stewie, who was holding this angle just moments before, got lucky because he decided to reposition himself slightly more towards the spawn, which avoided a lot of the damage from Gla1ve's nade. The lineup is a bit more difficult than most of the others, since this one needs to be very precise to hit the desired position. First of all, you need to get on top of the wall. This can be done by either asking one of your teammates for a boost or by simply jumping onto it from the barrels as shown on screen. Once you manage to do this, then line yourself up with the edge of the wall and the shadow as shown on screen. Stand and look up at the wall. Aim your crosshair where this virtual line created by the center of the hedge intersects with the line that you can draw from the bottom of this B. Then do a jump throw, and the nade will fly over the roof and to the left of this wall to land and explode at the CT angle. Be careful however. Missing this lineup by positioning the crosshair slightly to the right will result in the nade bouncing against the wall, missing the angle. And too much to the left will result in the nade bouncing onto the roof, which will stop the nade completely. So make sure that you get this lineup correct. The wall on banana is something that Gla1ve uses quite often for his T-side utility towards the B-bomb side. In this example we see him throw a molotov that lands in the dark position. The perfect placement of this molotov allows it to be very efficient and cover a big area of the side in flames. This will force out the CT players to either go towards the coffins or the new box. For the lineup, jump onto the wall and position yourself all the way on this corner. Then aim up and use these leaves as a reference. Left click throw, and the molotov will land deep into dark and reach from the pillar all the way to the back. This will force out the CT players to either go towards the coffins or the new box. However, since Astralis already smoked coffins at the same time during their execute, they know that any dark player will most likely move to new box and therefore they have less angles to worry about. Now that we've seen a few nades for dealing damage to players at B, let's have a look at 2 flashes that can be combined with these previous nades. The first flashbang has been carefully designed to hit a sweet spot that is in direct line of sight for almost all of the common angles that CTs will be defending from, while at the same time the flash will pop out of the vision for the entry fraggers in your team. Because it can both flash the CTs while being safe for your teammates, and because it can be combined with the coffin smoke, I think this nade is probably the best flash for a B execute and should be used as often as possible when trying to enter the site. The flash is thrown from the logs position. It's a jump throw that will pop the flash at the top of the roof. For the lineup, come over to the logs position that is also used for the Gla1ve smoke in a lot of the rounds. Then aim at where this wooden plank intersects with the barrels and do a jump throw. If you accurately do this, the flash will bounce at the end of the roof, making it pop at the perfect position blinding the CT angle, Gla1ve's, dark, new box, and also on top of first and second. At the same time, it will not be visible for the entry fraggers since it will be behind the wall and the roof for the majority of the angles. For the lineup, it has to be very precise to hit the sweet spot so that the flash bounces only a little bit and pops in the most optimal position. If you throw it too high, it will fly over and land deeper, which creates the risk of blinding your teammates, so be careful of that. Aiming slightly lower is the safer option. This might cause it to bounce a little bit higher onto the roof, but it will still blind all of the angles as was planned. Gla1ve has another lineup for a similar flashbang towards B. This one is thrown from behind the wall in banana and will pop in almost the exact same position as the one we saw before. The benefit of using this position for the lineup is that it can be combined with the CT smoke. For the lineup, come over to this edge of the wall, then aim up above the lower part of the scaffolding. You can use the leaves on the left side as a reference. I suggest to practice this one a few times in a private server to get the height of the lineup correct. If you get it right, the flash will bounce on the roof just before it pops. Next up, Gla1ve throws his flashbang to support the Vice who is taking banana control. This will shortly flash any CTs that are peeking aggressively into banana from car or on top of the wall. The lineup is very simple. Stand behind this railing of the stairs, aim at the top left corner of the left window and release with a jump throw. The benefit of using this flash from time to time is that it gives you the option to save the molotov that you would usually need to take control of car. Also, in some of the rounds it might be better to give up banana control early on. Let the CTs spend all their utility to nade banana. Then after you've gotten one or two members into apps and top mid for some map control, retake banana with this flashbang. Alright, enough about the nades for B. Let's move on and see what sort of nades Gla1ve uses to get more control towards the A bomb side. In round 22 against Team Liquid, Astralis manages to get a lot of presence towards top mid. This might have sent a signal to Liquid to stack A with 4 people. However, Gla1ve is one step ahead and uses the next smoke to block a vision from library to long, which forces Nitro, who was playing from library, to fall back into CT spawn and watch the arches. But as you can see, this was a premeditated tactic from Astralis. After Gla1ve threw the smoke, they all instantly rotate into banana and end off with a very determined B execute. Since they baited Liquid into thinking it was gonna be a fast A execute, they have an easy 5v1 at the B bomb site, partially due to the smoke that was thrown by Gla1ve. The lineup for the smoke is very simple. Come over to this green post box, bump into the wall and go left until your player model gets pushed back slightly. Then turn around and aim below the edge of the roof as shown on screen. Jump throw, and the smoke will fly over the roof and bounce against the wall before landing in the middle of long without leaving any gaps. That brings us to the next smoke of the video. This time Gla1ve throws a smoke from top mid onto default A. This blocks off any vision from side and library to short. The smoke allows his teammates to first focus on the pit and balcony before entering the bomb site or perhaps planting the bomb at default as Gla1ve does in this particular round. For the lineup, come over to this corner towards long, then aim up at the wall with the painting of the 2 lions. Use the eyes of the left lion as a reference for the height, then move all the way to the left side of its hair to find the correct lineup. Jump throw, and the smoke will land onto default A without any gaps. Be careful however when you want to plant the bomb inside the smoke, because there might still be someone sitting on Ninja who could deny the plant. The last nade of this video is a crucial smoke that is often used during executes towards A from short. This Moto smoke is designed to block off any vision towards the bomb site from long or library. This way it creates an easier scenario for attackers to get control of the site without having to worry about the rotation from long, or perhaps an AWPer that is holding this angle from inside library. The lineup is very simple. Come over to the end of the wall at top mid, then aim up above the flower pot and into this metal railing. A simple left click throw, and the smoke lands in the middle of the Moto path without any gaps for the CTs to peek through. And that's it for the video. We've seen 9 different nades that Gla1ve from Astralis uses on the T side during their matches on Inferno. What's your favorite nade of this video? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I personally like the high explosive nade towards the CT angle the most. After seeing Gla1ve use this one in his match against Team Liquid, I tried it out a few times myself in pucks and managed to get a few frags without even seeing the enemy myself. So I'm sure I'll use this one more often in the future to get some easy openings. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.